The Knesset this week approved for its second and third readings the amendment to the Equal Service Law regarding the drafting of the ultra-Orthodox community. The approved changes were passed with a majority of 49 to 36. They now delay by 6 years the implementation of the conscription bill, which requires Haredi enlistment in the IDF. The amendment extends the transition period currently in effect until 2023 and also strikes down criminal sanctions that were to be installed against Haredi draft dodgers, even if quotas were not met. Up until now, members of the ultra-Orthodox community were exempt from mandatory military service, a decision which sparked much outrage from various sectors of society who demand equal sharing of the burden. Right. Your former party, Yesh Atid, was one of the people behind this whole bill. Now I understand that the head of the Yesh Atid, Yair Lapid, is going to go to the Supreme Court, the High Court of Justice, to a petition against this bill. What do you feel about that?
I'm still a very proud member of Yesh Atid and support all the moves that we're taking. The law that we passed a few years ago was historic in nature. It actually established some level of equality. By the way, very pro the ultra-Orthodox side. We gave them many years to learn. Many of them in high numbers could continue learning. But those who aren't studying day and night, they have to serve the country either in the army or in national service. The notion that we would now cancel this law, and let me highlight, Prime Minister Netanyahu, Defense Minister Ya'alon, they all voted for this law a little bit more than 2 years ago. Now they voted against this law. So what do they actually believe? What's actually the right thing to do? It's come time to do what's right. And what's right is that we're one people, we have one lot here in this land, and we have to serve together. And therefore, we're going to demand that equality. We do believe the Supreme Court will absolutely overturn what they've just done. We'll be back to where we started from again, and hopefully people will recognize the wisdom and the foresight behind the law that we passed, and we'll reach a stage where there is some level of equality.
Well, what does this say about the legislative practice of this country where one Knesset can pass a law, the next successive Knesset comes along and erases it?
Well, they tried to finesse it so that they weren't erasing it. They said we're extending things, we're pushing it further along. It is sad that things are so politicized. It is sad that the center of Israel, I would call it the middle 70, 80% that all wants equality in national service and wants many other things, they're not being represented because the Prime Minister is being pulled in the direction of extreme, very small groups in society. That has to change. And I hope that all of Israel wakes up to that and realizes they have to put people in office who are going to follow their values and what's right and not just whatever is necessary to stay in office.
Well, there's a lot of expediency now. We have people changing the colors of their skin by voting for it last time and voting against it this time.
I honestly, I've thought to myself many times, people ask me, would you ever leave the Knesset while you were there over an issue? If I could never press the button to undo something which I just believed in so passionately a few years before. And there are ministers in Likud and in the Jewish Home and in the Kulanu party I am sad to say, but they did not follow their conscience here, and they did things just to stay in office. And I hope that whenever the next election comes, voters remember that there are people who follow their values, and there are people who just find a way to stay in office. And the sad part is that all of Israel is hurt by this. The Haredim are hurt by this, the ultra-Orthodox are hurt by this, and all of Israel is hurt by this. And we just gave in to a few narrow rabbinic and political leaders, and that's sad.
Well, thank you, Dov Lipman, and please stay with us to the end of the broadcast.
Absolutely.